With great confidence in our caucus, I will not seek re-election to Democratic leadership in the next Congress. For me, the hour's come for a new generation to lead the Democratic caucus that I so deeply respect. And I'm grateful that so many are ready and willing to shoulder this awesome responsibility.
The end of one era marks the beginning of a new chapter in American politics. For the first time in nearly 20 years, Nancy Pelosi will not lead Democrats in the House of Representatives.
Well, look, I think she's a historic speaker. I think she's a historic speaker who's accomplished an incredible amount. But I also think there are a lot of Democrats ready for a new chapter.
She's one of three longtime Democratic House leaders not seeking leadership roles in Congress. House Majority Leader and Maryland Congressman Steny Hoyer made a similar decision, as did Democratic Whip Jim Clyburn.
At a certain point, people whose votes they desperately need to be able to relate to their leaders.
Come January, Republicans will take control of the chamber after earning a narrow majority in the midterm elections. Already, the party is charting a new and different course.
Committee Republicans have uncovered evidence of federal crimes committed by and to the benefit of members of the president's family.
As long as they stick together, they can, subpoenas, investigations, putting matters on the House floor, shutting down Democratic priorities. The key is sticking together.
The next Congress is officially sworn in on January 3rd. Here in Maryland, voters chose to keep the balance of power within the state's congressional delegation the same, but the margin of those victories was very different from the 2020 election cycle.
All of that was predictable when they redrew the lines.
John T. Willis is a government and policy professor at the University of Baltimore. He says redistricting played a big part in the 2020 election results.
The districts today are different than they were 2 years ago, geographically different.
Maryland adopted new district boundaries in April. The districts with the biggest differences in dividing lines are the 2nd and 3rd districts. The 3rd was once called the most gerrymandered district in the nation.
I think that, without a question, many of the districts are much fairer.
Gary Collins is the vice chair of the Maryland Republican Party. He says while there was no red wave, there were significant red gains. In the 2nd district, Democratic incumbent Dutch Ruppersberger won with a 12-point margin of victory. He won by 36 points in 2020. In the 3rd, Democratic incumbent John Sarbanes won with 16%. Down from 40% in 2020. The 6th district was a rematch, which became the state's most competitive contest. Incumbent Congressman David Trone won by 6 points against Republican challenger Neil Parrott, a race he took by 20 points in 2020.
And not that these were in danger of flipping partisan control, but they certainly represented a different combination of voters.
If there is the right candidate with the right message at the right time, who's able to appeal to the individuals in those areas, I think that we'll see that seat will absolutely flip.
Looking forward, Collins says Republicans need to adjust their message to get more people to cast their ballots for the GOP.
We have to realize and embrace things like mail-in voting, and as a party, as Republicans, we have to convince our voters that mail-in voting is a safe option, it's a secure option, and that frankly our elections are not going to be stolen if Republicans tend to vote by mail.